Hello there, everybody. Welcome to Movies Are Real for August 2024. I am George. I'm here with Ryan Lance holding a Lakitu.
I like Lakitu. The Mario Wikipedia says he is a Koopa, but I don't know about that because the nostril is different from a standard Koopa, so I might have to go on Reddit and yell at people about this.
Great. Carrie Lyles, what's up? How you doing?
Every time Ryan picks up something in here and says what it's called, I just believe you guys. Like, you can be making that up. I don't know.
Figgity! We love him!
Lakitu, of course.
It's woofoo! It's Snarf! We love him!
In Japanese, his name translates to "he who sins." That's a fun fact for you.
I thought he was gonna...
I could tell.
They've yet to bring up that fact in game, but I think they're going to any day now.
They won't mention it directly, but he'll just start sinning a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a little fun Easter egg for the true fans, such as yourself.
Instead of dropping Spidey's, he'll drop
Go on.
genocide?
Oh.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a big sin.
Yeah, that'll be really cool whenever he does that. I'm sure that's coming up.
Yeah.
Welcome to the end of summer, folks. Not the busiest time, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like I just haven't been to. Well, right now it's September when we're recording this, but I feel like I haven't gone to the cinema a lot. But I know y'all have been seeing some stuff. But I was gonna say we didn't see the biggest movie of August, Borderlands. That was a thing.
Who saw it?
That's true. But I feel like I'm going to watch it just so I can put it on the worst of list, just so I know.
Was The Crow also August?
The Crow was
I
also.
wanted to watch it.
You can watch it digitally now.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. Because I wanted to watch the original first, and then
I would watch the original. That feels like the most 90s capsule ever. Like I don't know.
It is, yeah.
Like I said, it was I said this before, but it's like a small window where the Crow was like an incredibly important cultural object, and then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I am curious about it though.
But yeah, we're not here to talk about the Crow, folks. We're here to talk about Trap. You Trap, we got you. You're listening to this podcast. You can't go anywhere. M. Night Shyamalan's back, folks. Josh Hartnett, Ariel, Donoghue, and Saleka, Alison, who's his daughter's name? Do we know the daughter's name?
I would assume
the character's name is Riley. The actress was Ariel Donoghue.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, M. Night's daughter is Saleka.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Awesome. And Kid Cudi, for like a split second, is in this movie.
And he uses every goddamn
I was like,
That's
is
my
that Kid?
favorite part?
Is that Kid Cudi? Yeah, okay, that's weird. M. Night, folks. So the last thing he did was Knock at the Cabin. A very kind of fine. It's just a movie that exists. It doesn't feel like an M. Night movie. It spiritually definitely feels like an M. Night movie because it feels like let me tell you the story about blah blah blah, and there's like some moral or something. I don't know. But it wasn't very out there, like his not grand concept, but also an adaptation of a book. Yeah, it was a forgettable movie. So like the last thing in my head of consequence is Old, and this very much has that old M. Night special sauce, in my opinion. Trap, Josh Hartnett. He's average Joe. Father, loves his kids, goes to the PTA meetings, and is maybe a known serial killer, kidnapper guy. What's his name? The butcher, baby. And he's gonna take his lovely daughter to this concert of Lady Raven. We love her, folks. We all love Lady Raven. And then little does he know, this whole thing is a trap. And it's a setup to get him, because they, the butcher, he's at large and no one's gonna be able to catch him, but they're gonna get him now. And now he's gotta get the heck out of here, without, alerting his daughter that maybe he is the butcher. And yeah, quite a setup for a movie. And in my humble opinion, it 100% delivers. Carrie, you want to talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, Trap rules.
Trap's great. Trap is awesome, folks.
I wasn't really familiar with Josh Hartnett before this movie when he was announced. I kind of
he's an Oppenheimer, I guess.
Yeah. I looked up his character in Oppenheimer and I was like,
He's
no
that,
clue.
He's that guy. Yeah.
There you are.
He's the guy. He's like the love interest in Virgin Suicides.
That's true. Yes.
He's also in The Faculty.
I was gonna say The Faculty.
The Faculty. He's pretty good.
He's a badass because he's got a black shirt with like a gray long sleeve under the.
Hell yeah,
he's
does.
fucking.
He should have brought that back in this movie.
Yeah, he's in a lot of highly acclaimed movies that I have not seen. So this was my real first exposure to the power of Josh Hartnett and his traps. But yeah, I liked this movie a lot. I thought it was really fun, and I really liked Josh Hartnett, and I just liked it had such a good energy. It kept bouncing. We never felt stagnant, and I like that.
Yeah, the whole movie is just him. I think the first like two-thirds of this is just him trying to get out without alerting people. So he sees things, and you kind of like understand like his thought process on how to like create a situation where he can get into like a room or sneak away. Some of them are as simple as causing like a scene. Some of them are more complicated, like, hey, wouldn't it be crazy if we like went down in that secret room?
Right, that'd be so cool. Down those stairs right now. Let's go explore.
That was like what's it called? Not an intelligence check, but he just like rolled the dice. Like it's like a high ceiling. Persuasion check.
He's always he thinks of every possible idea, no matter how like nonsensical it could be, and you really understand as it goes on, how he looks at things. And then towards the latter half of the movie, which is where I've seen a lot of people talk about that they don't really care for as much, but where basically there is a perspective shift from him being the point of view character to Saleka, and then to Alison Pill, his wife. And I thought that was very interesting, just because you're now seeing him as a true antagonist to these characters, and you understand like, okay, I've watched this guy. I know how unpredictable and crazy he is. So now I'm very much worried for what's going to happen to M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. And I think that's just a very interesting way to go about this kind of film.
Yeah, I think this movie's fantastic. I think it's very confusing to me how... I mean, I guess I get it. There was a point where, like, M. Night definitely has a way of writing and a way of directing actors. It is almost surreal in the way people deliver their lines. It is like that scene in Twin Peaks: The Return. It was like, we are late, we have to go. Like, what has happened? Like it's just like, it feels like out of the universe. Like, what is happening? Why are you talking like that? Who speaks that way? But I find it enthralling. It's so good. And I think Josh Hartnett, he does a great serial killer in that when he's a nice guy, he's fucking, I love it. He's on it. It's great. But yeah, and I do agree that the final third is maybe not the strongest of the film. It very much took me out. I was really high on it because we are just like, how is this character going to weasel his way out of this situation? And it was really interesting once we got to what I thought was the final act, when he's finally cornered and he's got to like, ooh, look at that, I got him, he's right there. And yeah, like that's super tense. And then it keeps going, which is why I was like, oh, I thought I kind of came down already, but okay, that's fine, we can keep going. But even so, yeah, I think for me, for the wonderful setup, and the fact that I know it's M. Night Shyamalan directing, I thought this was as good of a movie, as good as deliver on the concept as it could possibly be. Yeah, and I think I said this in my Letterboxd review, but it's just so, there is something like I don't know, there is the way stuff is delivered, and the M. Night himself showing up and acting like the most normal Philly dad in the fucking world, where his characters are just really over the top and weird. There's just a surreal, weird flavor to his movies that I just love. And I just, say what you will about the guy, whenever he does like an original, like high concept, like an old or this, like It gets people talking. It is fucking weird. And yeah, I think I have to stay on M. Night as a person who was also on the hate train, sort of a Nickelback sort of thing. It was like, oh, this fucking guy doesn't know how to make movies. His twists are stupid or whatever the hell. I don't know. I can't wait for the next thing he's got because this was great. Yeah.
He's someone who I'm starting to realize, like, I think some of his movies aren't for me, but when I look at them more as look at his whole stuff, it's like, okay, this guy is obviously very good at what he's doing, and everyone who's like, all the weird hate is, you know, very manufactured.
It's tired.
It's tired.
Like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, very cool opinion, guy. Great.
That same guy is also like, I love Yorgos Lanthimos. It's like, I love it when they talk weird in this movie.
Exactly, 100%. That's what I'm saying.
But when they talk weird, M. Night movie, boo, bad. He can't write.
See, me, I'm woke. I love them both.
But there is something, I guess people don't get it. Like, no, this is an M. Night movie. It's not a normal movie. Like, the way people are talking is strange, yes, but that is what he does. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
that's a whole type of movie that we all enjoy.
Yeah. It's like somebody going and David Lynch is like, oh, why is he talking that like that? I don't.
Why is he talking to a monkey?
Yeah.
This is
Stupid. Yeah, exactly. 100%. But anyways, yeah, Trap is great. I bet people come around on it in about 2 or 3 years. How great it is.
For sure.
Once it's on streaming, I think people are gonna like it a lot. It'll find a new audience on streaming.
If it ever gets on Netflix, it's gonna fucking pop the
it's
fuck
gonna blow
off.
up. Yes.
Yeah. Lady Raven Nation.
Lady Raven, folks. Speaking of ravens, you know what I'm saying? Cuckoo. Nice. That's where they go. Cuckoo went the Raven, nevermore.
I don't know about that.
Oh, man.
It's been a while, but I'm really not sure that's how that quote goes.
Hunter Schafer, Dan Stevens, Jessica Henwick, Cuckoo. Yeah. The trailer's kind of set up what this movie is, but not totally. Where is it? Is it Germany?
Oh, jeez.
I think it's Germany.
I think it's Germany,
Seems
Dan Stevens.
Europe, yes.
Dan Stevens feels like German.
Yeah, Dan Stevens is doing something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we have Hunter Schafer and her family going to not a resort.
German elves.
Okay, yeah. Resort. Good getaway. I wouldn't call it a resort, but it's very much like you're moving here, you're going to stay here, you're going to enjoy the forest. And
they're like helping Dan Stevens do some architecture planning. So they're like living there for a while, if I remember right.
Yes. And it is they're there with, oh man, it's been a while since I've seen this movie.
Right.
Was it Hunter Schafer's step brother or step sister? Stepsister. So
because her dad remarried and they have a younger daughter.
Yes.
And she is, like 18 or something.
Yeah.
So she's, with her dad, his stepmom, and her very young stepsister.
Uh-huh. And her mom passed away, and she's very much not, doing great about it. And so they find themselves at this resort, and then she starts working at the hotel to do something, because she's
trying to save up some money.
Yeah. And then weird stuff starts happening. Really weird. It feels like time is looping. And it's just very strange. And then there's this crazy lady chasing her in the middle of the night. No one believes her. And Dan Stevens is all like, welcome to everything's fine, Hunter. Don't worry. It's all good. Yeah. So yeah, it is like a sort of a horror thriller. I thought this was fine. I don't know. Yeah. It's okay. I think I don't know. My expectations were pretty. I don't know why they were. I think because Long Legs was so good, and it's neon again. Even though just my dumb lizard brain was just like, that's like the fucking from the producers of is working. I don't know. But yeah, I think Hunter's great in it. She's fantastic. I think it's cool that she has a role that she can. I don't know. Not be miserable in, because I really only know her from some cameos in Euphoria. So yeah, she's good in it, and Dan Stevens is fucking great. But the main thing, I was like, okay, I was maybe not paying attention too much, and I was kind of confused. And then Donoghue explained it to me, and I was like, okay, I don't know, I still don't like that very much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's trying to be original with because I don't remember, because it's clearly some sort of monster thing, and usually with the type of movie like this, it's like, oh, this is the ancient German Schmuckelheimen, and it's like, oh, okay. But it's kind of like its own original thing, so they make up their own lore.
It is a weird thing.
It's a weird thing, and the lore is very confusing.
Yeah.
So, like, I admire it for trying to be original, and I think it has some interesting stuff it does with that. But it doesn't really excel in a whole lot of other stuff besides Hunter Schafer being a very good lead. I think there was some fun stuff with the finale, just because it's an interesting chase thing where she is going after her sister. Dan Stevens is trying to kill Hunter and take the sister, and there's this detective guy who's trying to kill the sister and save Hunter.
Right.
So there's this interesting dynamic of everyone's trying to kill each other in a different combination of ways, and I think it has some fun and interesting stuff with that, because you enter a room and it's like, okay, who's going to try to kill who in this one? But I think its main issue is its monster lore just gets a little too wacky and weird and confusing.
Okay, I'm glad it wasn't just me, because I was just not paying attention very well, because I thought I was like, okay.
I think it's one of those things where you're spending a lot of time like waiting for the lore dump for like, okay, it's like, Hunter, let me explain to you my creation, and then and then that does happen, and you're still like, can you like summarize that though?
I need to put you in this hole, and she's gonna come attack you or impregnate you. I don't know.
Who knows? It's impossible to know.
Yeah. Okay, what you think?
Yeah, I agree. I was excited for it because the trailer really slapped, and I'm always susceptible to really punchy trailers. But yeah, it never felt like a satisfying, like, here's what's going on and why. But I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb.
No.
I liked the weird time stuff. I wish that had more to do with it in the end, because if I remember correctly, it would just be like the bird would screech at you and then send you back in time 10 seconds, and then it would do that a few times, and then nothing. But
it didn't. But it's not actually, right?
It's kind of like it's kind of like
in your head.
It's in your head. It's like your head's like in a loop.
Yeah,
basically.
but it not rack. Yeah, it could have done a better job, in my opinion, of explaining like, here's what's happening. Here's why this thing is. That's the other thing. Like, it's not a cool creature. It's like it's like a bird thing.
Spooky bird.
It's a bird, but it's mostly just a lady.
It's mostly just a lady. So like that also doesn't help. Like, it's not an interesting creature.
It's mostly a lady, but her lore is inspired by a specific type of bird.
Yeah.
And it's like, as a bird lover, I'm like all for it. But in this case, it was very weird.
And Dan Stevens is just good in a base Dan Stevens level. Like, I don't think like he's doing anything exceptional. Like, he's just great because he's there. He's not really punching it up. Unlike somebody, I saw somebody on Twitter. This is related to a movie for next month, Substance. Someone on Twitter reminded me that Dan Stevens was in the Cabinet of Curiosities, the one with the lotion. And he was one of the guys. I think I bookmarked this tweet, but it's him being like, transform yourself into with the power of retinol and pep. And this accent he's doing is just insane. Like, the emphasis on it's crazy.
So you're saying he's the master of funny voices?
He's great, yeah. Anyways, Cuckoo. It's fine. It's a film. I don't know. Alien Romulus, baby. Fede Álvarez, director of Don't Breathe and the Evil Dead remake. And was there something else there?
He directed a Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movie.
And he did Calls. I love Calls. Love Calls.
I think he does not really talk about the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movie because I think that had some studio issues with it. It was also very bad.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be a sequel to Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but they didn't have any of the same cast.
Right.
And it was also...
man, you're directing a David Fincher.
Yeah,
that's rough. That's rough, buddy.
Tough. Yeah. But this was based off an idea that I believe he pitched to Ridley Scott
at a party.
Yeah, and he was like, I like the cut of your jib, kid.
I like that movies are still getting.
He's more
made
English,
that way.
but yeah. Well, I'd like the cut of your jib, kid, or
Yeah.
something that sounds like.
And I believe this was also supposed to be part of the FX Fox Hulu original stuff, but it was
Earth.
Well, that was always a TV show. I think this was going to be like a movie in the name, similar to like Prey.
Ah.
But then they're like, oh, we can't really make a lot of money off of this. Let's just have this be in theaters.
Yeah, and it's unlike Prey, you can't just go to like the woods or whatever.
Yeah,
you
gotta make a set.
You gotta make a set. You gotta have special effects and shit. So yes, this is a movie that takes place directly after Alien, but it doesn't have anything to do with the characters of Alien. Well, kind of, sort of, but yeah. So it's not right now Ripley is still frozen in space somewhere. She's hanging out with that cat. They haven't found her yet. But the Weyland-Yutani Corporation sure did find that alien, or at least the rock with it, because it got ejected off space, and then they found the thing, and then they unfroze it. And then is Romulus the station?
Yeah, on the ship was Romulus.
Yes.
It was like a science.
And then it's
ship.
just stuck there. And the most interesting thing about the movie, in my opinion, not to get ahead of what I think of this movie, is we have this mining colony owned by Weyland-Yutani, where a bunch of young kids are hanging out there, living a terrible life, getting the cancer lung, because all their family go to the mines and then they fucking die. They have birds in a cage that I don't know what they're supposed to do. Does anyone remember this?
Birds in the cage with mining, they can it's something with detecting when there might be the rocks might fall. It'd be dangerous. I can't remember the exact thing, but that's why historically they bring birds into.
I was gonna say this sounds like something I definitely read about when I was reading The Hunger Games.
Yes, it was probably in that too.
I don't remember what it was.
So anyways, we're in this mining colony, and they're trying to get the heck out of here, but the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, not the best company, be like, fuck, that's...
I think there might be some capitalist metaphors of that.
Yeah, and they're like, you see, the thing is, though, it would be really lame if you left, so could you, hang around more? And they're like, fuck. And then they're like, well, this spaceship that's stuck over there, it has a cryopod, so we could freeze ourselves and then take a destination to this planet that is not under the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, and just hang out there. Yeah. I don't know.
And when they go to the ship, they find some aliens.
That's crazy.
They don't just get the stuff in. Life is great.
Yeah. I think I'm the most negative on this movie. I don't want to start, but I'll say I didn't like this movie. Yeah. Man. I hate the speaking of not having original opinions with M. Night, I really hate this thing when people watch a very popular YouTuber or something and then just parrot what they say. And I'm really annoyed by this because I watched the Red Letter Media review and I was like, I agree exactly with these people 100%. And it really sucks that I'm just stealing their thing. But yeah, it just felt like a movie that is just like, let's take a little bit of Alien and Aliens and Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection and then and Prometheus. Don't forget Prometheus. You got the goop. We love the goop, folks. Love the goop. I don't believe in God, but I believe in big, bulky, bald, naked man opening a little thing and slurping it up and be like, fuck, I'm dead.
That's great. I agree. I like that too. That's great.
And then they made an Alien movie. And it looks pretty. I think it looks awesome. But narratively and character-wise, I don't know. We have an android here. It's probably one of the best androids in the series. But other than that, I was not that big. Ryan, you like it a lot more than me.
I like this movie a lot. As someone who... Because I very much like original Alien, and I didn't really love most of the stuff after that. I don't care for Aliens just because... The whole thing with Alien is it's this unstoppable monster that, you can't do anything with. And then I felt like with Aliens, it was like, if you just have a bunch of big old guns and a fat-ass cock, you can take that bad boy down. And I just don't like that. That's kind of where the other two of the original stuff went. I have rewatched Prometheus and
Prometheus is great. I also watched Prometheus is fucking great.
That's an amazing film.
It's very good.
But what I like about Romulus is it has all of that dirty, scary, weird stuff from the original just like amplified to like a really good degree because it has this awful, horrible mining city where it just sucks, and you go to the ship and it's all...
Yeah, that was awesome.
It feels very much like... It's cool visiting a ship like after like something horrible went down. I can't remember if they've really seen anything like that in other ones, but
I guess Aliens doesn't really count. I mean, the colony barely looked like it was fucked up in my opinion. Rewatching Aliens,
but it's nice. It's kind of a little bit like Alien Isolation, a game
yes,
that
it is like Alien
I've
Isolation,
barely gotten very far in, and probably won't finish ever. Where you're stumbling across this horrible thing, and you're like, okay, we gotta figure stuff out. And I just really like how creative the movie is. I think it sets up a lot of interesting, fun ideas where they need to get through this room, but it's full of the face huggers, so they need to change the temperature in the room so they can essentially be invisible to them. There is this gravity mechanic in the spaceship where it has to purge, so if it's in a state where there's zero gravity, it still has to, every few minutes, just force gravity down, so they do interesting stuff with that. And then they do some weird Prometheus stuff towards the end, and it's fucking awesome.
Prometheus,
it's so
weird
gross
alien resurrection
weird.
Shit.
And it's so much better than Alien Resurrection.
It is better than Alien Resurrection, but it is Alien Resurrection.
It is Alien Resurrection. That is true. But in terms of the way the awful thing looked, great, wonderful. The characters were all very fun. My main issue with them is a lot of them have very difficult to understand accents.
There's
somebody in the water! Somebody in the fucking water!
Exactly. What I wanted to see this movie twice, and I kept wanting to go to an open caption screening because I feel like I would understand it better. But all the stupid open caption screens are like, you want to see a movie at 2:30 on a weekday when you work? I can't! Have it, please!
I love watching daytime movies, and I would happily go to an open caption one, but a lot of the time when I'm looking, it's like, it's also baby day. And I'm like, I don't want to see a baby.
I hope to God there's no babies in Alien Romulus.
I mean,
except for that baby. Except for that baby, the good baby.
The big baby.
The
who
big
is played
baby.
by just a man who looks like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, this is so much of what I like about the Alien movies, specifically the first one and not the other ones. Big fan of the Alien franchise over here. I think the one annoying thing is the Disney ass CGI cameo,
right?
Which looks, it's like with the Star Wars stuff, and I read in stuff and like everyone was fine with it. There was no like weird stuff going on. Apparently there was some weird stuff with the
Peter Cushing and
but
it was the funny thing about that, it wasn't even his family, it was his best friend who sued them. So that's really funny, which I thought is, I don't know, I kind of respect. It's like, no, he would fucking hate this shit. Are you kidding me?
That's funny. And the thing is, I don't know if it makes perfect sense for it to be that.
Like, it's supposed to be that same model, right? Or something?
It's the same model, and I understand, like, in this universe, all the models for the robots that have specific jobs look the same. That's why all the Michael Fassbender ones look the same.
Right.
Everyone sees the robot in this movie, and they immediately know what it is, because, like, oh, you look like this model. I can't remember what exactly it is. So, like, I get that, but it still feels unnecessary for it to look like him. I understand, like, oh, the callback and whatever, but, it doesn't feel necessary, and in some shots it looks fine, especially when it has the screen filter on it, but in some shots it looks rough.
It just seems really weird.
It looks really weird, and it's like, Disney's been doing this for, specifically Star Wars stuff, because they do this all the time.
And again, we're assuming
shows.
this was an executive decision and not a decision from the director. Which, who knows?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just crazy that Disney does this all the time, and it still doesn't look any better. Like, I've seen screenshots of Luke Skywalker in, like, all the Star Wars shows, like, young Luke, and, like, it looks horrible. And it's like, you have the guy, you have the footage, it should look better than that, but it would also be better if you just hired a person who was a good actor and be like, it's Luke. Because, films and someone can play by a different character.
Another point on that thing, it's also weird when you have a movie that otherwise looks pretty physical, looks pretty real. And then that is the thing that sticks out the most to being like, that's not real. That's yeah. I don't know. Carrie, what'd you think of this movie? Yeah. That's fair.
When I was watching this, I realized that I'm not I like the first Alien movie. I've seen it once a long time ago, and I watched Aliens once a long time ago, and I never watched the other ones. I watched Prometheus once a long time ago.
Yeah. Neither of you watched Prometheus.
Yeah, I want
Prometheus
to.
is awesome.
Yeah, I've heard from you too. But it's like as I was watching it, I realized that it's not really a franchise that I have a ton of fondness for, but because I don't like space movies that much. But
Except Event Horizon, you like Event Horizon?
Event Horizon, well, Sam Neill's there.
That's true.
And that's more of a like a Lovecraftian horror film. But not really for me. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the antithesis of Prey. Like, here we are taking this beloved old IP and we are doing something completely new with it that makes sense in the world of this character, like the lore of this character, and it's awesome. It's a fresh thing, and for me, Alien Romulus was like, let's do everything again. But again, I think again the actor who played the synthetic in this one, he's fucking amazing. He's great. He's my favorite thing in that movie. So yeah, I don't know. It's fine. That's what I gotta say. I think I prefer Alien Resurrection over Alien Romulus.
That hurts.
It's got Ron Perlman in it, It's
it
pretty
does.
good.
Which one is that?
That's the fourth one.
That one was written by
The
Joss
director
Whedon.
of Amelie. Written by Josh Whedon.
Written by Joss Whedon.
Yes.
It's also not a good movie.
It's pretty. It's fun. It's got some. Sigourney Weaver makes a basket. It's pretty impressive.
It does the Daredevil basketball scene like 5 years before.
And she did it. She did it actually.
Yeah. I've seen behind the scenes
Or
clips
she's
of that. Yep.
Ron Perlman almost run the shot.
Yeah,
He was
I've seen that clip.
Anyways, Alien Bram. It also made money. It did pretty well. It seems like so. Good job, Aliens.
I'd like more Alien movies, especially because this was like a lower budget thing.
So
I would like that.
The visuals, perfect. The set, like there's a shot where they're on that planet and they're about to hit the rings and like the rocks. That looks awesome. I love that.
That town looks horrible.
That was so cool.
It looks horrible.
I loved it. It was great.
Days of Sunlight. 0. Hell yeah, there are.
It looks better also because I saw Aliens recently, and I've seen it 3 times. No, this is the 4th time I saw it, and it finally clicked with me. I was like, oh, I like this now. But also, it clearly looks like a set. It's just like totally like a set with a bunch of rocks and shit, but whatever. Anyways, Blink Twice. Zoe Kravitz. Is this her directorial debut?
Yeah, I think so.
Channing Tatum, Alia Sawkat, Naomi Ackie. Is that the lead character and also the person from Get Out?
Yes, I believe so.
The maid in Get Out, which is I don't know. She made an impression on me because I was like, oh hey, it's her. That's cool. I did not see Blink Twice. Carrie, you want to tell us about Blink Twice? I know you're the least bit, but just give us the setup here.
It is about our main character who she has a job as like a waitress or something. Caterer, yeah, correct. And her best friend and roommate kind of sneak into this event because she has had there was this event like the previous year or something, and she wanted to reconnect with Channing Tatum's character, who she had met in passing at that event the previous year, and he's this like
eccentric Elon Musk-esque billionaire
guy.
He owns this giant company, and he had this falling out for I can't remember what exactly, but he got caught with doing some bad stuff. Now
and he's issuing an apology. He's issuing an apology tour.
and now he like kind of lives in secrecy and lives on like an island somewhere.
Yeah, and so they wind up chatting with him, and he in the spur of the moment invites them to come to the island getaway with him and his group.
The boys.
The boys. It includes Haley Joel Osment?
Yeah, he's one of the boys.
He's one of the boys, George. And so they're all on this island, and
Nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, everything is great. They have a nice vacation, and then they go home. No. But,
very boring movie. It's people having fun in the sun.
Her and her friend are there. They sort of have some apprehensions, because it's like, this just seems way too good to be true. But then they just sort of fall in line with, there's clothes ready for them, because they didn't have time to bring anything, but there's everything they need at the island. They just kind of hang out. They eat food with them. They do some drugs, and they have some fun and some laughs, and then they just do that over and over again. And then they sort of start to have these suspicions that they're maybe losing time, or things are not what they seem.
Now I have a question.
Okay.
Would George at all like this movie?
I
asked because I'm trying to figure out if I want y'all to spoil like what the thing is, or if there is a thing. Is there a thing?
There's a thing, yeah.
I would have preferred the thing to be spoiled for me before I sat down to watch this movie.
Yeah. With being a little vague, you know, they're losing time because there is some the drugs they are taking are kind of causing them to lose that time, and then they kind of end up feeling like kind of like in a daze, and it's like just party and it's all fun. It's like, okay. And then they kind of realize that during this drug blackout time, some not cool stuff is happening.
Okay.
So this also set the scene. It's the main girl, her best friend, and then a few other women. And also all the boys.
Yes.
So that's who is populating the island.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so maybe not spoiling with me. Ooh, Carrie, what'd you think of this movie, which is not positive, it sounds like?
I really, really like it. It's like edited really well. It's put together super well. It's got a lot of really interesting things, and I really, really enjoyed most of it. And I didn't hate the reveal. Like, the reveal was shocking initially, and I was kind of like, uh-oh. But then I didn't hate it, and then I just thought the ending was really, really corny and lame.
Yeah. Pretty much spot on with me, too. I think it has... I think once the reveal happens, I don't love the initial shot of the reveal.
It's a lot.
It's a little too much.
Yeah.
I understand what they're going for, but it's like, ugh, I did not like that. And I think there's some stuff after the reveal that's funny, like the margaritas bitch or whatever. That's very funny.
No.
All the actors are very funny, and you know, and Channing Tatum is a good performance, but. Yeah. I have some issues with the reveal, and the ending fucking reeks shit. That's like
ending is poop from a butt.
That is one of the worst endings ever, because it's essentially like what's a good metaphor without spoiling it but kind of spoiling it. It's like imagine like someone did something horrible to you. Like someone like beat the shit out of you, and then you saw and then that person got the shit beat out of them. And you're like, good. It's like, well, no, like it's you shouldn't take joy out of seeing someone else go through pain just because they insisted pain onto you. It's understandable, but I don't think I'm doing this analogy justice, but it's. There's some inflicting of the pain back, and that's really fucked up in this scenario because it makes the person like just as bad as the person who's doing it in the way I feel. So yeah, ending sucks, and it's...
But like, was the movie interesting up until the ending?
I would say if they cut off the last like 8 minutes of this movie, I'd be like, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Or if they just did something different, because like I genuinely really enjoyed most of the movie, and it's like I said, it edited really cool. It does makes a lot of cool choices, and it's funny, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
A lot of people don't mind the ending, so.
I don't know. Yeah, I do not like that ending. It was really bad.
Okay. Maybe I watch it. It's on Amazon. I don't have Amazon Prime. It's not in theaters anymore, I don't think, so. Alright, that's Blink Twice, folks. Strange Darling, directed by J.T. Molnar, starring Will Fitzgerald and Kyle Gallner. Yeah. I had no idea what we were going into when I saw this movie with
The trailer
everyone.
told us not to.
That's true. The trailer is like go in blind, and it's like I can't.
But we have this couple. Well, I don't even know. Okay, this movie is not told in sequential order. That's the starting, but the trailers don't tell you about this. And we have this couple, and stuff happens to them. Now I feel like I don't want to spoil something about this movie, but you gotta talk about what the hell is going on.
It's like, I don't know if that gives away too much, but it's like the movie begins like this is a story in 6 parts. Mm-hmm. And each part is numbered, and it's basically showing you the movie in a different order,
out of context.
So it's like this is part 5, and then it goes back to 2, then it goes to 1, then 4. Then, that's not the order, but it just goes around, and it's all about seeing things out of order and learning the context through the out of orderness, basically.
And we have a man and a woman.
A man and a woman, yeah.
That's the big thing, and. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I kind of have to. What do you say about this movie without spoiling it? I don't even know. It plays on your expectations, I guess is what I'll say. We have a man and a woman, and they are going on a fling, and stuff happens. And the way the movie tells that story plays on your perception of what is the story actually. Yeah. I thought this was okay. That's what I gotta say. Yeah, I don't know. Carrie, what'd you think of this one?
I liked it. It was... it's hard to say without spoiling, but it's like, as soon as they say, like, it's out of order, it's like, I wonder why you would tell it out of order. It was interesting. It was cool, and the main girl's performance was really good.
She's good.
And
she was the main character in the MTV Scream TV show.
Yeah, you told me
I saw that.
Yeah, it's very weird.
But yeah, she's good. The Kyle Gallner's very good. He's got a big mustache, and I love that. Yeah, it feels like a cool movie that is fun, and it's cool to witness a story unfold in a unique way. It makes me think of there's this movie called, what's it called? It's Deerskin. And
like a deer or deer skin?
Deerskin.
Okay,
it's about a leather jacket.
Okay.
But
not like we write a letter deer skin.
Deerskin. No. But there's a side character in that movie who talks about how she re-edits movies for fun, and she has a line about how she put Pulp Fiction in order and it sucks.
That's good. I don't like. I have a problem when movies do that whole, like, we are showing you this. When a movie is like, here's the events, and like, oh, by the way, this thing that happened in the middle of the stuff that you saw, and we're showing it to you now, just so you know. And it's like, okay, that's kind of just like it feels lazy and weak. And I think the way this movie does it, because like that's the whole bit is a bit better, because it's like the whole bit is this thing's out of order. It's not like, by the way, I switched the keys and now you're going to drown, Jigsaw. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know. But it just feels like a cheap thing, like, oh, this thing happened that you just didn't see.
Sure.
And it's like, I'm not, sometimes that just doesn't feel great. But I think this movie is, for the most part, very interesting. And it's a simple idea. And I don't know. It's fine. Like George said, it's fine.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought there was just some weird things that annoyed me. Like, it annoyed me that it said it's shot in 35 millimeters. Like,
yeah.
why? Okay. Cool, that's weird. And then the obvious homage to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I was like, okay. I think it was like, from the start of the 35 millimeter, I was like, okay. And then it was like, Texas Chainsaw, I was like, okay, we got a guy who likes movies, folks. We got a movie liker. We got and then the out of order stuff, and there's like you didn't, and so yeah, I never fully jived with the movie. But it's still interesting, and the lead performance is fantastic. So I end up being like, yeah, this movie's fine. It's fine. It's all right.
Agree.
Yeah. A lot of fine movies.
So fine. What a fine month.
What a fine. It's good, I guess. It's okay. Sing Sing. This is a Coleman Domingo special. I wanted to watch this. Did y'all actually see this? Who saw this?
I
here?
saw this with my mom.
Oh.
Yes, I also wanted to see this, but I never
In a
was
sea of
able
fine, we have finally found a masterpiece, everyone.
Nice.
I really loved this movie. The thing of the movie is Coleman Domingo. It's taking place inside the Sing Sing prison. And so it's these guys who run a theater program within the prison. And it's basically, we start with them looking for a new member, they hire a new guy, and the movie follows them getting this production together for this new play that they're doing. And it's a new direction, because Coleman Domingo's character, he's like a playwright, and he usually writes what they're doing, and he does like heavier stuff. But then this new guy they recruit into the club wants to do a wacky comedy, because they're like, we need something fun. We're in prison and it sucks. And so they have this guy who comes in who's their like director, consultant, theater teacher guy. And he writes this just crazy plot for them where they're just time traveling and doing all this stuff. But so that's what's happening at the core. But then we have all these interpersonal relationships with the other prisoners, and Coleman Domingo is on his journey to try and get, I don't remember the word for it, but he's going to get like an appeal to maybe like lessen his sentence. So he's prepping for that, and he's also trying to build a bond with the new guy who is joining the club, because the new guy is very good with the acting, but he's very apprehensive as well about it. So it's just them coming together and helping each other. And it's based on a real guy, real story, and a lot of the people in it are the actual guys who were in the theater club in the actual prison. And it's awesome. I cried so much. Highly recommend. And Coleman Domingo is a superstar. But also the guy who, I'm forgetting his character's name, but the guy who they bring into the club, who's the standoffish guy, is one of the actual guys from it, and he is fantastic as well. So I would highly recommend this one.
Good, it is
this is high on my list.
Okay, it is very much like,
it's so good.
it is what it is advertised as.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yep. It looks great.
And it's my favorite plot, George, of people putting on a production.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. I was like, we gotta
save this
it's
prison.
So good.
Yeah. It seems great. Is it streaming yet? I don't know.
I'm not sure if it's streaming
This
yet.
is,
I feel like it just left theaters.
Is this A24 or who is this?
I think. Pretty sure it was A24.
Yeah,
it was one of the ones that they forgot to advertise as much.
Yep, it is.
It's always great when they do that.
That is good.
We got people. You gotta get people to see the front room.
Yep, we got it.
That's where the money's gotta go.
That's got brandy in it.
Well, Sing Sing. Back to the fine zone? Question mark. Afraid. Afraid. There it is. Afraid. It's a killer AI. Question mark.
Smart House 2.
So this is about John Cho works at a marketing firm, and they have this new client who has this brand new AI home assistant, and he has to have the AI moves in with him. They installed into his smart home with his wife and his 3 kids.
Yes.
3 kids. And at first it's like, oh, this AI is going to make everything so much easier in our life. But then things get a little wacky. And when I say, and then things get a little wacky, I mean the next day things are getting weird. This movie is not great on like an objective standpoint. It feels like Blumhouse. It feels like Jason Blum saw that people were making scary AI art and like, but what if we made a scary AI art movie?
Yeah. And all the opening credits are just montages of weird AI
Yes.
art.
Oh my god!
And there
I'd be
is
so upset immediately.
it's upsetting and not in a fun way.
Silly.
And there's a lot of bad AI art in this movie. There's a lot of bad AI everything in this movie. And it's overall just It's entertaining though.
It's very
That's
funny.
what I'll give this movie.
Is it? Okay.
It is constantly entertaining, but in a way that George might not like. It's entertaining in like a Toro sense and a Night Swim sense.
Toro?
Toro.
MF say Toro.
Taro, whatever.
Yeah.
But George loves Night Swim.
I do like Night Swim.
Okay, then maybe he'll like a
Is it better than Imaginary?
I would say no. Maybe the world would say yes.
I think the world would say yes.
I think the world hates Imaginary. I'm the wrong person to ask
yes.
about Imaginary.
But yeah, for the most part, this movie, you know, it doesn't have anything new or interesting to say about AI. It's just kind of the same old repeated stuff that we all are aware of. And it's trying to, I don't know what it's trying to do.
What are some fun things the kids do that the AI then responds to? Like, does the little kid look up boobs? And
Yes, that is the thing that happens. There's one of the best scenes of this movie is the kid who has the new AI. He goes up to a bunch of kids at school, and they're all on their iPhones and like, "Hey Siri, show me some boobs."
They're like, "Hey Siri, you're a bitch."
And he's all like, "I have this new fun AI." And they're like, "No, you don't. You're gay." He's like, "Oh man." But then, you know, some crazy stuff happens. Some fun bits are the AI. So in the trailers, the girl teenage girl sends the nude pics to her boyfriend, and the boyfriend shares those. The AI takes those down and then makes a deep fake video of the girl making a response video saying like, "This was actually a deep fake my boyfriend made," and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then she also makes a deep fake of the boyfriend issued an apology video.
Yeah, and then
it's
him like announcing that he's gonna kill himself.
So that's fun. That's
because
great.
AI is scary because it can make you look like you're saying something that you're not actually
Yeah.
saying, George. I know you probably haven't heard about this yet, but it's out there and it's happening.
It can do a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, very silly, very funny. I think but the biggest, like, the movie's very silly and funny, and you know, you can forgive it for being bad because of that. But
For sure.
but the ending of this also really sucks. It's a really bad ending. Because it's one of those, without spoiling too much, it's one of those where it's like, we did it, we beat the guy. But then it's like, oh, actually you did beat the guy, you'll never beat me because I'm like super strong and cool and awesome and you'll never stop me. It's like, okay, cool.
Alright, well.
The movie ended. I guess we'll have to live with this AI forever. And then you know, Journey starts playing, and the credits start rolling.
Yeah,
It's
our Tesla's here. Our Tesla's here, and it's gonna drive us into the sunset.
Okay, what was the scary image that it showed that kid?
Nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't see.
Yeah, you don't see it. It does show like the bombs, but it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, did that ever happen where she was like, "Do you want to see what I actually look
Yeah.
like?" Did that happen?
Yeah, was
in
that
the
a thing?
movie? I don't remember
I
if that actually
can't
happened.
remember now. Yeah,
I think that might have just been in the trailer.
Thanks,
Maybe, yeah.
Jason.
Yeah, and then like also in the trailer you see like weird deep fakey kind of AI face people. There's just regular guys in masks.
Oh my god, yeah, there were
Yeah.
these people with emoji masks, but they only ever made one face. They
Yeah.
could have made so many silly
They
faces.
could have made so many faces.
I don't even remember the face they made, but I just wanted them to make the grimace emoji face.
That would have been good. And imagine with the reveal of those characters was kind of nothing, and their motivation was nothing because it was just like the AI told us this,
well,
and it's like,
see, because AI is scary. It convinced those people that they.
but they know not to trust it.
No.
You saw from the beginning that they shouldn't be able to trust it. Listen, I think people might be stupid.
No.
Well, I'm realizing that was the most fine month of movies ever on this podcast, I think.
I had a pretty okay month. I had Alien and Sing Sing, which I did not see, but it's
Sing's
apparently
a
very good.
masterpiece.
Afraid.
Afraid.
September. Beetlejuice. Question.
Yes.
I feel like this movie largely exists because Wednesday was a big thing, and Jenna Ortega's great. So I think I heard something I didn't see Wednesday. I don't know nothing about Wednesday at the show. Did Tim Burton do anything with that? Was that they didn't have him involved at all, right?
Tim Burton directed Wednesday.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought he made that. Okay, I thought that was a
It was
fake
like
news.
his first show he ever directed or something.
Okay. And then they did
So,
Beetlejuice?
yeah.
Interesting.
So that's
Yeah.
how Jenna Ortega entered the... Because a lot of the interviews have talked about how they had thought about doing a sequel a lot over the years, but then once Jenna Ortega...
Once he met a young person for once.
became a part of the Burton-verse, he was like, now we can do this.
Okay. Nope, Beetlejuice. Coming at you, folks. The Front Room. We talked a lot about it. A very perplexing film. Where it's all like, so it's like A24 trying out like this, the Blumhouse factory filmmaking, or what's going on here?
I don't know what their goal was here.
Okay, well, we'll find out.
It is
It's more upsetting than any Blumhouse movie
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
But not in the ways you'd think.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
In the ways you think of an actual, like, elderly parent. But fun fact, this movie is written and directed by Robert Eggers' brothers.
I saw that, yes.
Yeah. So if you'd like to see what two white guys have to say about race, George, I got a great movie for you.
Yeah, I can't imagine Thanksgiving at the Eggers household.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Their brother keeps doing weird old-timey voices, and they're like, I think white people are not very good. It's like, oh, these are weird. This is a weird family.
God's Not Dead 5. In God We Trust. That's right, there are 5 God's Not Dead films.
It's about time.
He's still not
He's
dead.
gonna die one of these.
One of these
these
days,
fucking
you
We're
got
gonna
to.
finally defeat him.
Yeah.
God's Not
God
Dead 6.
finally
God
dead.
takes on Manhattan.
God in space.
God X.
Oh,
Oh my God.
this reminds me. Carrie, you've been watching all the Friday the 13th movies. You saw Friday the 13th 6, Jason Lives. Isn't that a good movie?
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
I haven't watched that one yet on my current rewatch journey, but that was one of the first ones I saw of the Friday the 13th
That's a fun
movies, and I was
movie.
like, yeah, this one's
I need to rewatch all the Friday the 13th in order some point because they're all jumbled in my head because it's been too long.
My opinion so far, 1, a little boring, but the ending's awesome.
It is. It's like,
2,
yeah.
2, awesome, loved it. 3, boring. 4, boring. 5, awesome. 6, also awesome.
And 7 is the one with the telekinetic powers? Is that?
Seven's
there
when he
yet.
goes to Manhattan.
Oh, is it?
And then
so which is
8
the one with the telekinetic powers? Yeah, he has jumbled up. But that sounds great.
Well, in 5, it's the guy from It's Grown Up.
No,
Corey.
not that one. So anyways, I want to watch
I'm
that.
not sure. I don't think I've gotten to the
Yeah, you probably haven't gotten to that one. You would remember the lady.
I'm waiting for Jason to be interesting. So far, I'm very bored by him.
You're at movie 6. Like, what's it going to lighten up with this fella?
Because I liked the Halloween movies pretty well, but I'm not a big slasher person. So whenever it's a guy who is strong with knife, I get a little bored. And I really liked the Nightmare on Elm Street movies because he's like
he has a personality.
He has a personality, but also he has like superpowers and is a demon ghost. And I'm like, this is where I shine. But so far, the Friday the 13th movies, aside from 5 and 6,
He's just
have
kind of
been
like a
boring.
monster who doesn't talk.
Yeah. But
Yep.
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm excited for them to get into the.
It'll have to be when he turns into a worm.
He does do that.
That fucking movie's so weird, dude.
That's
I think about that movie a lot. I'm excited for your thoughts. Jason Goes to Hell.
Will
Carrie.
I still love Jason?
That
if
is
he's
a
worm.
fucking film. Oh wow, yes. Rebel Ridge. I added this one. This is a Netflix movie. It's the next movie from the guy who did Green Room,
Oh.
and it's got Don Johnson in it.
Interesting.
And I have heard very good things. I don't have Netflix, so I won't watch it. But I've heard everyone's like, "Yeah, this is the guy who did Green Room, and he's made another good movie."
Oh, I remember seeing
Yeah.
tweets about this. Yes.
Yeah, so I want to watch it. And it was very weird circumstance because I was on vacation and Green Room was playing on the TV,
Oh,
and then
nice.
I saw a bunch of people talking about Green Room again.
You're like, did I do this?
Did I do this? Yeah. Anyways, gentlemen, Transformers 1. People say this movie is good. I don't care
Do
about
they?
Transformers though.
Yeah,
I hate
I
Transformers.
don't
I'm over
like
like
Transformers.
any goodwill. I can't even open my heart to Transformer. So sorry, robots.
Did you like Transformers as a kid?
No, because it's like it's like a people in their 40s sort of deal, right? Like, because it wasn't really our generation, Transformers. Like, there was like Energon and stuff.
Yeah, there was Armada and Energon, and I had some of those toys, and those were fun because, and I think I just liked those because they were just like fidget toys. Because you just changed modes, and it's like, this is fun.
But the fact that it was a car robot, that didn't do much for me.
No, I never liked cars.
Big fan of Turtles That Are Ninjas, though. Big fan of that. Love
sense.
that. My Old Ass. This is playing like in one theater. It's playing at the Council Bluffs Theater where we live.
Interesting.
This is I almost said Anna Kendrick. No,
Aubrey
Plaza. Aubrey Plaza, and I don't know if the other actresses of
Some teen,
right, is like meeting the older version of herself. Seems like a normal movie.
Yeah.
It's like they don't make these anymore. This is
high concept normal movie.
High concept normal movie. 13 going on 30.
Seems like it might be a nice film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If this came out in 2000, it would have a Michelle Branch trailer going. She's like, but she's about to find out. But if I just breathe in Aubrey Plaza, my old ass. Anyways, this movie looks fine. This is cool. I'd watch this.
Watch it.
I don't know if I'm gonna go on a huge trek to watch it, but if it's streaming, I'll probably watch it for $6. Seems fine. Saturday night. Holy shit! This comes out in September.
Apparently,
shit.
Yeah.
This is Ivan Reitman.
Yes, and this is based on, but apparently not like super accurate depiction of the very first episode of Saturday Night Live. It has some interesting cast members. It has Rachel Sonnet in it. Dylan O'Brien plays oh my god, I think he plays Chevy Chase, which is very funny. That you have like these actors playing some like Andy Kaufman and Dan Aykroyd and oh my god, who's
Belushi?
John Belushi. Just interesting to see that. It has very divisive reviews from what I've seen.
I haven't seen.
Some people like really like it. Some people are like, this sucks. So
it's just like the real Saturday Night Live.
It's got Cooper Hoffman. Remember Cooper Hoffman?
Yeah, he's one of the guys.
Cooper Hoffman. He just Licorice Pizza, a movie that happened, and
it also has Steven Spielberg in it.
It does.
Guys,
it also has
he plays Lorne Michaels.
Willem Dafoe as the evil television executive. Yeah. You'll never do anything here with this comedy. Blah, blah, blah.
No one's gonna remember your name, Lorne Michaels.
Exactly.
So I'm interested in this just because I'm still I watch the Saturday Night Live more as what it could be as opposed to what it is. But what it is also very fascinating that they're still making something like that nowadays. So hopefully interesting.
Cool. I didn't know that was so soon. Apartment 7A.
This is a Paramount Plus prequel to Rosemary's Baby.
Mm-hmm.
God, they love doing that.
Was this a show?
There was a show, but this is a movie, from my understanding.
I think it's very. I mean, listen. I feel like Stephen King enjoys making money, but I thought it was very weird to see a Pet Sematary Bloodlines poster in his office. I saw an interview with him with PBS, and he's like, there it is. He has it.
He just rotates the newest one.
Maybe,
in his office,
yeah.
probably.
Maybe.
That would make sense.
But this has Julia Gardner in it, who I like a lot. She's always very good in stuff. So, maybe she'll give a good performance in a movie that probably will not be very good. But we'll see.
Paramount Plus.
There is a new Hellboy movie coming out this month.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
Is there some is this like a cabin in the woods? Like we have to have a sacrifice every 5 years, or how does Hellboy keep getting movies? Nobody watches them.
Nobody watches them, and now no one, and the people who like them aren't gonna watch the new ones because they don't have the original people involved.
The Crooked Man.
The Crooked Man.
From The Conjuring.
That's what I was saying.
I think it's a Hellboy. I assume it's a Hellboy villain, but from what I've read, this has nothing to do with the last Hellboy remake.
The one with not Ron Perlman. That's the other one.
Yeah. Yes. This is a completely new one. It's apparently more horror driven. Was the pitch behind it? The Crooked Man, and it's a lot more low budget.
I imagine when the last one made
$0. $0 despite having David Harbour
and Mila Jovovich.
And David Harbour, that's a good idea for someone to play.
That's not Dexter. Did Dexter, the guy who plays Dexter, play a Hellboy at some point? Why am I thinking that?
I don't know.
Ignore me.
I don't know.
This is from the guy who directed Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance.
Hell yeah, baby.
He was a writer on Jonah Hex.
Oh, this will be a good
Gamer
movie.
and Crank.
Gamer's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my whole life.
So, I don't think we're ever going to get like a real Hellboy 3, are we?
Maybe at this rate that, again, we have made some deal with some dark demon that we have to make a Hellboy movie every 3 years. God, it's like when they kept making Hellraiser movies to keep onto the Hellraiser IP. It's like, nobody wants this. They made a Hellboy video game. Nobody played that shit.
Did.
Remember that? It looked cool.
It had the comic book style.
Yes,
yeah,
it
that was
awesome.
Very cool. I forgot.
Nobody gave a shit.
And that came out.
Oh, dude.
Interesting. I didn't know.
Yeah, last year.
Oh,
yeah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You know,
man, I really liked those movies as a kid.
I don't remember. I was too young. I don't remember.
Because they just felt...
I thought they were like, this is weird.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about them, because it had all that comic booky stuff, but it felt so unique and different from like a Marvel and a DC thing.
I didn't know... I mean, I never didn't know who Guillermo del Toro was, but I don't know what the Fishman looked. There's the bug-eyed guy.
Abe Sapien.
Yeah, Abe Sapien. It's like, this guy looks particular in a style.
That's a nice looking guy.
Yeah.
That's a good Fishman in that movie. Doug Jones plays a different type of Fishman in that movie.
From the other Fishman.
Very nice.
Yes. Speak No Evil. People tell me this was based on a movie that I have never heard of in my life. Is it Australian?
Carrie definitely brought it up on the podcast.
I thought it was Australian. I don't know why I thought that or said that. And I also looked up the Dexter guy and didn't do anything of the sort. So
he was in Gamer.
So I'm like, don't listen to me. But it was not an Australian movie. It was an extremely Danish movie from 2 years ago by the same name. And this is just a remake of that.
Is this a funny game situation where it's at least the same director or no?
No.
Okay.
No, they just wanted to make it.
Decidedly not a funny game situation. But
I hate when I find myself in a funny game situation. I never want to.
It always sucks when that happens to you.
Damn.
Basically, this is a family meets another family while they're on a big fancy Italian retreat. Mm-hmm. And the other family is like, you guys are too stressed. You should come visit us at our farm in wherever the hell. And they're like, okay, let's do it. And then when they show up, it's extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah. I don't want. I'll forget this detail when we eventually talk about next month. But I have some. If you're driving to the middle of nowhere, I would not bring my Tesla. I would bring a car.
Yeah, that's a gasoline car.
I would at least have a hybrid. Because I was expecting 100%. I was like, oh no, our Tesla's battery's dead.
I didn't even think about that. That's so funny.
That's so fun. Yeah, I needed to bring that up now because I will forget that little detail later on.
But yeah, Speak No Evil OG movie is very bleak, but very good.
It's a movie a cinema person would love.
Sure.
Yeah. This is a movie, the remake is something.
This is a movie that a James McAvoy fan will love.
And we did.
And we certainly did.
Anyway, we'll get back to that later.
The Substance.
Yes.
Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley. Man, this is the most George shit in the world. It's also the most Carrie shit in the world. We love a thing called the Substance that grows neon green,
I
folks.
love a little vial of neon green stuff.
I don't. It looks weirdly horny and freaky and not a normal movie, and I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for this.
It's gonna be fun. Same director as Revenge, a movie from a few years ago that I really enjoyed.
That was a while ago, right? That's like 2017? Yeah, that was a bit ago, yeah.
That movie slaps.
A movie original. Movie. Check it out. Movie, folks.
Movie.
Yeah, Substance is great. Megalopolis, folks.
I think this movie's gonna mega flopple.
Oh, what a man! Lionsgate, what a year. Marcus Theaters right now is having a promotion specifically for Lionsgate. If you buy a bundle, you can watch any Lionsgate movie this year. And I was like, so you're watching The Crow, you're watching Borderlands, you're watching Megalopolis? Man, what the...
when The Strangers Chapter 2 comes out, you'll be thankful.
Oh, man.
Anyway, any word on that?
I was gonna say, is that still coming out?
They definitely filmed it.
they're like, oh, they didn't like that first one. What do we do now?
Oh boy, Peacock.
That movie and the fucking part 2 of Kevin Costner's divorce. They're all sitting in the trash somewhere.
Anyways, Megalopolis is a film.
Francis Ford Coppola was like, I have so much money and I don't want to help people, so I am going to make this movie.
I'm going to make a fuck you movie.
I'm going to make a fuck you movie and also be very gross to women while making it.
Let's go. Cinema is back.
Cinema's finally back.
We are so fucking back.
I was fascinated by this movie by hearing about the film festival stuff because it does weird stuff where people
walk out and interact with the
stuff. I saw for a comic book podcast I listened to, they had an episode where a guy with a guest who had the job of doing that, and he talked about doing that. It's like, yeah, there was a part where like I had to specifically sit in a part of the theater and I had to sit up and do the thing. Apparently, you just had to mouth the thing, but you had to direct it towards the crowd.
Sounds amazing.
Which was interesting. And apparently, I can't remember who it was, but he was very nervous because some very fancy directors that he liked were there, and he was very nervous about doing it.
It was at Cannes, right?
It was at Cannes. I can't remember what exact one this guy did the thing.
Oh, okay.
But that was very fascinating to hear about that. But he was on team. This movie's great, but also many people will hate this movie. So I am fascinated where we will all.
And even if it sucks, Adam Driver.
Yes, I've heard that it is the most. I've heard it be described as if Francis Ford Coppola invented 2000s era superhero movies without understanding it.
Oh, God.
And that sounds...
What the fuck?
It could be exactly what this group of people are all for.
Exactly.
So let's see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, most fascinated with movie of the year.
Will and Harper. I don't know what this is.
I am so excited for this.
Excited for
this is Will Ferrell. This is a documentary starring Will Ferrell and his friend Harper Steele. Will and Harper met on Saturday Night Live. They were both hired the same week, and they had been best friends basically their entire lives. And this movie is about how Harper came out as trans a few years ago in her 60s. And I've seen some more stuff about it, and basically Harper had this tradition where she would like to go on road trips alone and, just visit small towns and do stuff, but felt very nervous about doing that now that she is, a trans woman. And so she is going with her lifelong friend, Will Ferrell, and they filmed it, and it looks absolutely delightful. It looks like a nice time where people are nice to a trans lady, and that is just what we need right now.
That seems great.
Yeah.
But yes, it did very well at some film festivals, and Netflix bought it up. So it might be just lost in their algorithm forever, but we will talk about it on this podcast, and it will hopefully be a nice, wonderful time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Great. That's September. There's some stuff there, but it definitely feels like we're on a down. It's a slow time.
A brand new Francis Ford Coppola movie
true,
coming out.
I have seen Beetlejuice 3 times.
Oh man.
I keep needing to see it one time, and I never.
I'll go.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what's coming up in September, folks. Ryan Lance. If folks want you to see what you're watching in the meantime,
go to Film Piece Letterbox. I made my annual fall spooky season list.
It's that time.
It is that list. That's why I make it in September, so I have more time to watch 30 movies
I
arbitrarily.
should do that.
But oh man, what have I seen so far? I watched the 2017 Mummy. I watched Battle Royale 2, which blows. That movie is fascinating because it had the original writer and director of the original Battle Royale, but he died after filming one scene. So his son took over, and it is a mess.
I'm gonna make you proud, Dad.
It is an absolute mess of a movie, and I had heard that and did not want to watch it because of that, but I was like, I'm going to finally watch Battle Royale 2. It sucks. And there's some other random junk on that list. I tried to have a lot more 80s-y kind of pulpy stuff, so hopefully I'll get to that. But I also started watching Servant on Apple TV Plus because I was on that M. Night Shyamalan kick, so who knows how much of those movies I get through because I'll be watching that show. Anyways, Carrie.
You can find me on Letterboxd just by searching my first name, Carrie, Karrie. I'm in the midst of the Friday the 13th watch, and I found out there's so fucking many of them.
There's too many movies.
What the hell?
There are, I think, 12?
Like 12?
Yeah, there's 12.
12 of them bitches, and I don't even like them so much.
No. I'm excited to get to the remake and how it has just a porn movie in the middle of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I've been waiting to rewatch that because I don't remember anything that happens other than you and me talking. Like, there is a lot of boobs in this movie. Like there is a lot.
One of my favorite lines in cinema is in that movie when they're going to town on each other. The guy's like touching her boobs and he says, "You got perfect nipple placement, baby."
What the hell?
And it's
I vaguely remember this.
Nice.
I could never forget a scene where a guy says, "You have perfect nipple placement," and the girl's like, "Wow, thank you."
I feel like we are approaching boutique Blu-ray. We're running out of shit to re-release because that's getting an Arrow 4K release, and we do not need that film on 4K. Anyways, you can follow me at jcruzalvarez26, where I'll be probably watching Demons.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Maybe another movie.
Yeah, I saw Beetlejuice, and I was like, this is pretty good, visually, but narratively, I don't know. I like the jokes are funny, and it's a funny movie, but the story is, whatever. Anyways, yeah. Until next time, we'll finally hear what Carrie has to say about Beetlejuice here.
I've seen it about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier
Whoa.
every single time I see it.
Timmy's back, baby. Until next time, bye-bye.